Australia's escalating addiction to gambling. Yeah, I'm new to Australia, but I see these gambling joints almost everywhere at every major intersection. I think they're called tab, something like that. Sports gambling and other gambling. They are the machines that anti-gambling campaigners in Australia say have addictive force of cocaine that are fueling an avalanche of debt, divorce, and misery. Slot machines, known as poker machines or pokies, are common in Australian pubs. Gambling in Australia is the equivalent of guns in America. Not really. I mean, you can harm a lot of people with guns around you. You probably end up harming yourself, your life, your family's life with gambling. So it's not equivalent. You can say it's for each country it has maybe the same priority, and gambling is the highest priority for Australia, and just like gun control is for US. Gambling industry has captured politics really in the way the NRA does in America, so we aim to reform that. Okay, who's saying that? Tim Costello, Alliance for Gambling Reform. Okay. Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of gambling joints almost in every big intersection. Australia has 20% of world's poker machine, known colloquially as the pokies. In Western Australia, they are confined to a single casino, but they are common elsewhere. I'm in Victoria, near Melbourne, and they are common everywhere. Mr. Costello believes gambling stress pushes more than 400 Australians to suicide every year, a figure that has been given credence by Australia's Productivity Commission, CAT. Built for addiction, releasing the dopamine that hits your brain with force of cocaine. Yeah. Okay, that's true, but that's also true for so many other things. Addicts, he tells the BBC, describe entering a zone where the problem simply dematerializes. It completely neutralizes the anxiety. Huh. Oh, it's like an escape route, and again, there are so many of them for different people. Australia has more slot machines per person than almost any other country. It has nearly 200,000 in total. That is true. Like the 20% of world's poker machine versus Australia's population does mean they have a really high ratio of slot machines per person. For many gamblers, the machines are just a bit of harmless fun, enjoy with a beer and banter. But for others, they're flashing lights, spinning wheels. Oh, okay. So how do they intend to reform it? What are they saying about that? I mean, of course, you can find a lot of stories where people have lost their money. It's really difficult. It's a big challenge for them. They're addicts to gambling. Highest losses in the world. Okay. Next year, National Self-Exclusion Register is due to start to allow problem gamblers to effectively ban themselves from all online gambling sites and apps. Okay, that is the equivalent of like going cold turkey, and I don't know how they would do that. Maybe they would like submit some sort of form in their ID, and maybe you need to link your ID to online gambling. That's what I think will happen. The spokeswoman for Responsible Wagering Australia, an industry body representing online operators including Bet365, Betfair, Ladbrokes, that's a funny name, like it says that right there in the name. You will go pro, lads, go there. Said the measure would help protect vulnerable members of the community. Okay, that's one thing, right? Self-exclusion register. I'm thinking it has a possibility of working. For people who will sign up. Okay, 200,000 Australians have high-level problem with gambling, while up to twice as many more have difficulty at a lower level. There's a ripple effect where, okay. Anything else they're proposing to fix this? Millions of Australians are directly affected by gambling. Yeah, we got that. Australians spend a lot of money, $1,300 per capita a year. The next highest is around 600 in Singapore. We far exceed any other country on earth, and the reason for that is because we have so many gambling opportunities. We had a big bang deregulation in the early 90s. Gambling really took off and it hasn't really looked back. My take on that is we can't, you certainly can't ban it to the effect that nobody can do gambling. You shouldn't. That's not the right thing to do. You're suppressing something that people want to do. But I think certainly they can reduce it to the extent that it's not visible on every intersection. So the trigger, so for people who are trying to discipline themselves and kind of having withdrawals, it's not a trigger at every intersection. I don't know how they'll do it. The self-exclusion register has a possibility of working, but also I think for people who lose a lot of money, and maybe it already exists, some sort of rehab situation where you kind of make them aware of the financial realities and maybe divert their energy and escapism in a different direction. And maybe it exists already, but I didn't get the sense from this article that exists anywhere. So let's find out. Rehab for gambling, Australia. Gambling addiction treatment centers in Sydney. So they do exist. The only thing is, are they supported by government or not? Because if it is privately run, for a person who's already losing a lot of money, don't have a lot of money left, they're probably not going to go and spend more money at the rehab, which I'm sure are not cheap. But let's see. Well, I guess we'll learn more. Okay, let's see what else.